now call to order the special meeting of Portland City Council for Monday, December 30th at 6 p.m. We'll dispense with all the opening formalities. And Mrs. Turner, will you call the roll? Will you call?
Right. Mark Hopler.
Present.
Ron Ackerman.
Present.
Kathy Mel.
Present.
Mike Snyder.
Present.
Nicole DeFrias.
Present.
Margaret Phillips.
Present.
Thank you. I need a motion to waive any and all irregularities in the calling and conduct of this meeting.
So moved, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Snyder. Thank you, Mrs. Phillips. Ms. Phillips. All those in favor?
Aye.
It has been certified that all rules for notification of this meeting have been complied with. Our first order of agenda on the agenda is to approve the minutes, and you have gotten all of these minutes. You received all of them except for the September 24th meeting, which you got in yesterday's email. So could I have a motion to approve the minutes as listed?
Madam President, hearing no objection, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a
I'll
second?
second that, Madam
Thank you,
President.
Mrs. Mel. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We will now go to the reading of third ordinances and resolutions. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 40-13.
Ordinance 40-13, an ordinance making appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Port Clinton, County of Ottawa, State of Ohio, during fiscal year ending on December 31st, 2014.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 40-13? Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to amend the ordinance as presented to us in writing with the assistance of Auditor Hatfield to list the changes.
Thank you, Councilman Snyder. So bear with me as I go through the changes. There weren't a lot of big changes, just small changes and tweaks here and there. So I'll go over those. In the previous ordinance, we had the police department personnel services listed at $1,592,700. That has been changed to $1,586,500. The police department other fund on the old ordinance was listed as $224,500. That has been changed in the amended ordinance to $231,200. So the grand total for the police department, as previously stated, was $1,817,200. That has changed to $1,817,700. Next is the senior center. The previous ordinance had appropriations listed at $12,250. That has been changed to $8,750. Under the recreation department, personal services remains unchanged. However, there has been a change to the other line items. Previously, that was at $101,000. That has been changed to $90,500 for a new grand total of $101,800. Next is under the City Hall fund. Previously, it was listed at $78,000. That has been amended to $80,000. Looking at the auditor's office, previous personnel services was listed at $121,050. That has been reduced to $120,550. Looking at the administrative, personnel services remains the same. However, there is a change to the administrative other line items. Previously, it was listed at $432,086.93. That has changed to $434,086.93. For a new grand total of $553,386.83. The next change is the fire levy. Previously, the personnel services was listed at $175,000. That has changed to $191,550. Fire levy other previously was $212,000. That has been changed to $195,000. So the new grand total is $386,500. The next change is under the water fund. Previously, the other fund in the water fund was $1,441,200. That has been amended to reflect $1,457,900. So the new total for the water fund is $2,056,400. Next is the sewer. Previously, personnel services was listed at $867,300. That has changed to $842,200. The other line items was previously listed at $2,471,500. That has changed to $2,270,000. So the new allocation for the sewer fund is $3,227,200. There has also been a change to the Jet Express project. Previously, it was listed at $750,000. That has been reduced to $650,000. So the grand total previously for all funds was $14,507,819.44. The new change, the changes on the amended ordinance is $14,187,419.44. Transfers remain the same, so the new net appropriation will be $11,691,419.44. And those are all the changes.
I have a motion to amend ordinance 40-13. Do I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Any discussion about amending the ordinance? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mike Snyder?
Yes.
Mark Hopler?
Yes.
Margaret Phillips?
Yes.
Ron Ackerman?
Yes.
Kathy Mel?
Yes.
Nicole Frias?
Yes. Thank you. Does council wish to take any further action on ordinance 40-13 as amended? Mr. Cochran.
Madam President, I move we adopt ordinance 40-13 as amended.
I have a motion to adopt ordinance 40-13 as amended. Do I have a second?
I'll second that, Madam President.
Thank you, Mrs. Mel. Any discussion? Mr. Cochran.
Thank you, Madam President. Finance Committee did meet on December 17th, and we voted unanimously a recommendation that we adopt ordinance 40-13 as amended.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Kathy Mel?
Yes.
Nicole Frias?
Yes.
Ron Ackerman?
Yes.
Margaret Phillips?
Yes.
Mike Snyder?
Yes.
Mark Hopler?
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 40-13 as amended has passed. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 41-13?
Ordinance 41-13, an ordinance authorizing and directing the Director of Safety and Service and the City Auditor to enter into agreements for the acquisition of 4 police cruisers and related necessary equipment by lease purchase and declaring an emergency.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 41-13? Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion that we retain the emergency clause in the ordinance.
I have a motion to retain the emergency clause in ordinance 41-13. Do I have a second?
Second, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Cochran. Any discussion on the retention? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Margaret Phillips?
Yes.
Mike Snyder?
Yes.
Mark Hopler?
Yes.
Nicole Frias?
Yes.
Kathy Mel?
Yes.
Ron Ackerman?
Yes.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any further action on ordinance 41-13? Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion that we adopt 41-13, please.
I have a motion to adopt ordinance 41-13. Do I have a second?
I'd like to second that motion, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Ackerman. Any discussion? Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Madam President. Earlier this month, the Emergency Services Committee met, and with the assistance of Mr. Hatfield and Chief Hickman, voted unanimously to adopt this ordinance.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Mike Snyder?
Yes.
Nicole Frias?
Yes.
Margaret Phillips?
Yes.
Mark Hopler?
Yes.
Ron Ackerman?
Yes.
Kathy Mel?
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 41-13 has passed. We'll go down to second readings of ordinance and resolutions. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only? Resolution 13-05.
Resolution 13-05, resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on resolution 13-05? Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion that we waive the 3 required readings on the resolution.
I have a motion to waive the 3 required readings on resolution 13-05. Do I have a second?
Second, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Coppler. Any discussion on the waiving of the readings?
Madam President.
Yes, Mr. Snyder.
If I could ask Mr. Hatfield to explain why,
This ordinance was given to us by the county auditor in order to certify and make council aware of the tax levies that the city is eligible to receive. He had asked that I pass this along to council and asked for the ordinance to be adopted before the end of the year, so that way he has his record keeping in place.
Any further discussion? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Ron Ackerman,
Yes.
Nicole DeFrias,
Yes.
Mark Hopler,
Yes.
Kathy Mel,
Yes.
Mike Snyder,
yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes. Thank you. Does council wish to take any further action on resolution 13-05? Mr. Cochran.
Madam President, I move we adopt resolution 13-05.
I have a motion to adopt resolution 13-05. Do I have a second? I'll second. Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Mark Hopler,
Yes.
Nicole DeFrias,
Yes.
Ron Ackerman,
Yes.
Mike Snyder,
Yes.
Kathy Mel,
Yes. Thank you. Resolution 13-05 has been adopted. We'll go to first reading of ordinance and resolutions. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 44-13.
Ordinance 44-13, an ordinance authorizing and directing the Director of Safety and Service to apply for all necessary coastal permits and to apply for and enter into submerged land lease with the State of Ohio Department of Natural Resources for a portion of the state's submerged lake land area located adjacent to upland property owned by the City of Port Clinton and declaring an emergency.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 44-13? Mr. Snyder.
I'd like to make a motion that we waive the 3 required readings.
I have a motion to waive the 3 required readings on ordinance 44-13. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. Mel. Any discussion? Just as a reminder, this is for the lighthouse. And they'd come at the last meeting and they've been meeting with us and asked for it to be passed because the whole process takes 70 to 75 days. And they'd like to get it in there for the spring, so. Any other discussion? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Kathy Mel,
Yes.
Mike Snyder,
Yes.
Ron Ackerman,
Yes.
Mark Hopler,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Nicole DeFrias,
Yes. Thank you. Does council wish to take any further action on ordinance 44-13? Mr. Coughlin.
Madam President, I move we retain the emergency clause on ordinance 44-13.
I have a motion to retain the emergency clause on ordinance 44-13. Could I have a second, please?
I'd like to second that motion, please, Madam
Thank
President.
you, Mr. Ackerman. Any discussion about retaining the clause? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Ron Ackerman,
Yes.
Mike Snyder,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Nicole DeFrias,
Yes.
Kathy Mel,
Yes.
Mark Hopler,
Yes.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any further action on ordinance 44-13? Mrs. Mel.
I move that we adopt ordinance 44-13.
I have a motion to adopt ordinance 44-13. I have a second, Mr. Coughlin.
I'll second that, Madam President.
Thank you. Any discussion, please? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Nicole DeFrias,
Yes.
Kathy Mel,
Yes.
Mark Hopler,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Ron Ackerman,
Yes.
Mike Snyder,
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 44-13 has been adopted. Seeing that we have no other business for this special meeting, I will take a motion to adjourn, Mr. Coughlin.
Madam President, I move this august body adjourned.
And I will take a second, Mrs. Smith.
I'll second that, Madam President.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We are adjourned.